People keep asking me if I'm the star of this movie because I look exactly like the poster. I don't know if you've seen the poster, but it's a person wearing a skin mask. It's a person wearing a skin mask. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Movie Epidemic Show, the new one. This is the new Movie Epidemic Show, not the Movie Epidemic Podcast. That's a different show. This is a YouTube show. And this is Spooky Epidemic because it's Wednesday. Every Wednesday right here on the channel, we review some horror movies. And you've been asking. People have been asking. They're like, Buck, can you get a copy of Possessor? Brandon Cronenberg, not David, but Brandon Cronenberg's Possessor. And to that I can say, yes, I can. I can get anything. I know that you can get a hold of this movie if you know someone at Rhombus Media. If you know someone at Rhombus Media, you can get this movie. Possessor is a little movie that premiered in January of this year, of 2020, pre-COVID. This movie aired, it was at Sundance. This was at a real festival. This is a real movie that came out this year, one of the very few that actually came out this year, and it's called Possessor. Neon has the distribution rights to it. It should be coming out soon. I suspect it'll be out by Halloween because this is some fucked up horror movie shit that should really be out by the time we get to October. But I guess we'll find out. Movies are being real stingy with these movies right now. Like, where's Candyman? I guess we're saving it for Halloween, but where is it? Where's The Quiet Place 2? You're hoarding all these horror movies? What's going on here? What is going on here? So this is Brandon Cronenberg's second movie after a movie called Antiviral. I don't think I ever saw that movie, but now I kind of want to. Because if you've been listening to this show for a long time, if you've been listening to the podcast for a long time, you know that David Cronenberg is one of my all-time favorite directors, and I love basically every movie he's made. I less like the weird period piece stuff, but his horror movies are some of the greatest of all time. The Fly, Scanners, Videodrome, specifically Videodrome. That's one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen. The Brood? I don't know. I could list these fucking movies all day, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Brandon Cronenberg's Possessor, and you can tell right from the get-go that this is an artist's child. You can always tell when an artist's kid is making a movie because you're like, oh, this is just dripping with style and nothing else. Really. But it is kind of an interesting movie. But really, when it comes down to it, it's more of just a vessel for gore. It's a vessel for gore. So this is a movie starring Andrea Riseborough. She's been in a lot of cool stuff recently. She's kind of been popping up in a lot of kind of like smaller indie flicks that have been getting very popular. Mandy is probably the big one you know her from. Maybe Death of Stalin or Nocturnal Animals. She's been in a whole bunch of stuff. So basically the general concept of this movie is that this Andrea character, her name is Tasha Voss, or Tasya Voss, Tasya maybe. I think it's Tasya. They kept saying it differently in the movie, so I don't really know. So one person said Tasha, but I'm pretty sure it's Tasya. Tasya. Tasya marker. Essentially she works for I guess it's like there's some sort of government agency maybe, but basically she goes into a virtual reality machine and takes over someone's body and makes them commit assassination. So she's like an assassin that kind of slips in through the mind. Like they abduct people, put like a little chip in their brain. They put like a little chip in their brain. They put a chip in their brain, and then they're able to take over the body of that person. So that's how this movie begins. Is you see someone adjusting something on their head, and then immediately they do an assassination. She kills the person. She kills the target, I'm assuming. But then when she tries to pull the trigger on themselves so that they can deactivate and exit the machine or whatever, she fails to do that. Gets suicided by cops, and this is a thing that this is like a reoccurring thing. is that she's not able to kill herself at the end of the assassinations. I guess that's kind of an issue in this movie because you get trapped in the body if you don't kill them at the end. This movie also stars a few other people, but it's kind of like a very slim cast. You also have Jennifer Jason Leigh playing a character called Girder, who's kind of in charge of the assassination company. And then you've got you actually have Rossif Sutherland, Kiefer's half-brother. I can't believe we've got Kiefer's half-brother in this. Rossif Sutherland. And he plays the husband of Tasha Voss. But really the character you see the most is a guy named Christopher Abbott. He plays Colin, who is the target of the company, and they're going to use him to assassinate his girlfriend and his girlfriend's father, played by Sean Bean. And he's in charge of like a very large company that they want to take down, I suppose. That's kind of the framework for the movie, they're doing assassinations and they're inhabiting people's brains. Within that, it's very art housey in the style of it. It's got that neon soaked kind of like this kind of generation of horror filmmakers just neon soak everything, and that's makes it kind of nightmarish. It does feel a lot of the times when she's transferring into the brain of Colin that it kind of like flickers between the two of them taking control of the body, and it feels like they're going through one of those Willy Wonka nightmare tunnels, like a Willy Wonka nightmare tunnel. That's what a lot of this movie feels like. It's body horror-ish, but it's more just nightmare tunnels. Willy Wonka's nightmare tunnels. This movie does not shy away from blood. This is a fucking bloodbath. This is just almost a heinous piece of filmmaking. There's so much I don't want to spoil any of the kills because this is definitely a movie you should be watching, but some of the kills are so brutal that I actually was like screaming at the TV like, oh no, what the fuck are they doing? How could they even show this? Like I guess if Sean Bean is in a movie that he's not going to make it through the movie because he dies in every movie, but it's one of the most horrific things I've ever seen. Let's just say they use a fire poker in a very interesting way that you're not supposed to use that item. I don't think you're supposed to use that item that way, exactly. Not only is this movie not afraid to show gore, this movie is not afraid to show nudity. We've got a full cock sighting. That's right, everybody. We got a witch finger sighting. We got a finger sighting in this movie. There's also butthole and vag, full frontal nudity, everything. This movie's got it all. I can't believe that someone would not want to watch this. Now, it's already a fucked up idea that someone would control someone and like take over their body to do assassinations, but this movie gets even more fucked up. There's nothing about this movie that's pleasant. This is one of the most unpleasant things I've ever seen. The entire time, it's basically Tasha and Colin, and they're fighting for control of Colin's body. And as the movie kind of unwinds, it's like they keep getting in situations where she almost kills him, and then something fucked up happens, and he doesn't die. Just goes on, just like continues to murder people. This movie is so unpleasant that I don't know how to say this without spoiling it. But like as Colin starts to regain, he finds his way to Tasha's family, and boy, this is like one of the most horrific scenes of all time. But there is some child death in this movie. This might be a little bit of a spoiler alert, but there is some child death in this movie, and it is fucking shocking. Everything about this movie is shocking. Like the squib work, like when someone gets shot in the fucking forehead, it fucking squirts out, dude. It is impeccable shit going on here. This is certainly an art house movie, but it is very fucking gory, and I think that's basically what it has going on for it. The story is questionable at best, but it does have a lot. It does have a lot of David Cronenberg. You can tell, like what I'm explaining is almost Scanners. Like it's almost Scanners. It's a little bit Videodrome. It's a lot Existence. If you've seen David Cronenberg's Existence, it has a big vibes of Existence in this movie. And I don't think this movie is as good as any of David Cronenberg's movie, but I think it is a very good second effort. I didn't see Antiviral, but it is clear that Brandon Cronenberg is going to make some really fucked up good shit close to the tier of his father, and that is exciting to me. That is exciting. because David Cronenberg is like 95 years old. I don't think he's probably not going to make any more movies. But we've got Brandon Cronenberg here, and he's ready to fucking show up. And I think this one, once Neon gets this out, gets distribution, this one's going to be a big hitter. I think this is going to be a big hitter. This is going to get the Buck 4 stars. All right, everybody, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below, and I will read them on the next episode of Spooky Epidemic. Tell me what you thought of Possessor. If you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, let me know if you're excited. Like, comment, subscribe, and do all that stuff. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Those are the ones you want to follow us on. If you want to listen to this again, you can go on over to the podcast feed, and get the weekly podcast update. That comes with the Monday episode. It comes with this episode, and it comes with the Sunday Patreon Vault episode. Plus, it comes with a little extra chat for me at the beginning. I usually talk about some movie news and things like that. So if you want a little bonus content, go download that episode on all the podcast feeds. It's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, or whatever it's called now. All of those things. Google Podcasts, soon to be on Amazon's Audible, probably. Don't quote me on that. I'm looking into it. Also, I'm streaming most days on twitch.tv/JHMacy. Come on down, give me a follow, give me a subscribe, or whatever. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Why don't you play us something, baby? Why don't you play us something, baby?
Start? I don't feel so good.